What's going on, guys, and welcome to another Doctor Who review. Today I'm going to be reviewing the 10th Doctor David Tennant story, Planet of the Ood. Before we get started, yes, my voice is very croaky. I'm currently getting over a sickness that I've had, like a cold or something. Almost lost my voice. And yeah, although I feel mostly better now, my voice is still very much croaky, so I apologize for sounding so horrible. But yeah, we're going to be reviewing Planet of the Ood today from Series 4. So let's get started with the cast. David Tennant as the 10th Doctor. As always, he's really, really good in this one. Plenty of funny moments, plenty of just, silly moments, some serious stuff as well. And all in all, really good stuff here with David Tennant. There's not really much else I can say. It's just the same stuff I say every time, really. Catherine Tate as Donna Noble. Exactly the same thing, Once again, some funny moments like when they, at the start of the story, when they land on the Ood planet and they, it's all snowy and Donna comes out of the TARDIS with her big fluffy jacket on. That's just it's a really hilarious moment. But then the really serious stuff, like right at towards the end when they find the natural Ood and Donna is absolutely crying and bawling her eyes out, and the emotion, and she's figuring out what it's like to travel with the Doctor, the horrible things that can happen. When traveling with the Doctor, and she pulls off both performances so well. Right, let's get into some points about this story. A planet with an Ood factory. So this is the planet of the Oods in the Ood sphere. I'm pretty sure he actually says it's in the Ood sphere because he mentions, I think it's this episode where he mentions something about, I've been in this kind of area before with the, talking about the sensorized, the sense sphere, but this is the Ood sphere, so it's the same area of space. I don't know, but this is a planet where Ood roam free, and they've made a factory on this planet to basically sell the Ood, to produce the Ood, to breed the Ood, I guess. And this is kind of where it all comes from, where they distribute them to all the other places, like we've seen with, when we last saw the Ood in the Impossible Planet Satan Pit. They distribute them to those sorts of, colonies and different parts of space. They come from here originally. So it's definitely an interesting concept to kind of get, not necessarily a genesis of the Ood, but kind of understanding how they became slaves and where that all started. Some of the Ood are going rabid. So we start to see some Ood, literally they go red-eyed and they're going crazy, and they call it, oh, this Ood's got red eye, red eye's back again. And of course, last time we saw the Ood, they were being controlled by the Beast. And, the Doctor brings that up. He's like, and last time I saw the Ood, there was some weird mystical power. I never really figured out what that was all about. I mean, he did, but I just don't think the Doctor, the whole episode, he didn't believe in the Beast. And I think even after all that, even after he literally was face to face with the Beast, he still couldn't kind of believe it in his own mind. It just didn't really work for him. It didn't work for his religion, is I think one thing. His beliefs is what he talked about in that episode. But yeah, there's red eye again here. He's like, well, it can't be that again. There's got to be something else going on here. The security guy chasing the Doctor with the container grabber. Now, this is one of those scenes that, on one hand, I think is really cool and really awesome to watch, but at the same time, is a bit too silly. Especially the guy's face, like he is a maniac, and I guess that's just showing what sort of a maniac and a crazy guy this guy is, that he wants to literally like basically stab the Doctor with this grabber thing. And it's not particularly realistic. Like, that grabber would not be that fast in real life and that kind of, I don't know, powerful. It just, grabbing containers and stuff, you want that to be slow and melodical and, easy going. Whereas, this thing is flying around and absolutely smacking the floor really quickly. So it's not very realistic in that regard, but I mean, whatever. But it's a cool moment seeing the Doctor run away from this thing. But at the same time, it is a bit over the top with the silliness. There are natural Ood held captive. This is the first time we get to see original Ood. It's been talked about before. I think Donna brings it up in this episode, like, they've got the kind of the ball that they hold onto that goes up into their face, their mouth, under the tentacles, the kind of communication orb thing. And I think she mentions at one point, like, surely, you're not born with that. Like, how does that happen? Well, we actually, in this episode, get to see natural, original Ood who actually come with their brains in their hands. and those are the natural Ood. They don't have the communicator; they have a brain there instead, and those are the original kind of wild Ood. So it's really cool to get to see these different Ood. Why can only the Doctor hear the Ood song? Now, this whole Ood song thing is something that I don't really understand. I don't think it's really explained. Why is it only the Doctor that can hear this? Of course, he, he telepathically does what he does with Donna, which we've seen the Doctor do that a few times, that sort of thing, and makes so that she can hear it as well for a small amount of time. And of course, she can't take it. She gets really emotional about it. But then he starts going on about, I hear this all the time. I'm constantly hearing this. So like all the time, like not just since you've got to this planet, you're just always and always have been, at least since the Ood have been around and been, held captive by these people. That's why this song is happening. You can just always hear this, but why you? What does the Doctor have connecting the Ood? Other than, I guess, a little bit of a telepathic-y sort of thing between Time Lords and the Oods. Other than that, why does the Doctor hear this song? I don't think it's really explained. If it is, please tell me down below what the actual explanation is. But I just don't really understand. He's like, oh yeah, I hear this all the time. I'm constantly hearing it. One, would that not drive you absolutely insane? And two, why? Why are you hearing this all the time? Ood are born with a second brain in their hands. I did briefly mention this before when I wrote these notes. The natural Ood thing you must have been able to see the natural Ood before it showed you their brains. But yeah, they have brains in their hands. They basically have a second brain, a hind brain. Is that what they call it, or is that what the big brain is, which we'll get to in a moment? But I can't remember. But they have a second brain attached to their bodies, a third giant brain that connects the natural Ood, but the signal was broken to control them. So yes, then we get this big giant brain, and basically the people that own this factory for the Ood, who export the Ood, do what they do, put the communicators on them. They found this big brain. They kind of disrupted the telepathic connection between that and the normal Ood, and that means that they can then control them. Except for these few natural Ood that there are. They can control all the other Ood. They can stick the telepathic communicator things on them. And yeah, they can control them using this brain. So it's a little bit weird, this giant third brain thing. But Oods have two brains. Why not add a third? Mr. Hauptmann was turned into an Ood. So this is a pretty gruesome scene. And for Doctor Who, it's one of the more gory scenes, I'd say. It's up there with like the gas mask one, when the guy from Victor Meldrew is what I'm going to call him, whatever the actor's name is. He also plays Gaius in Merlin. If you know that actor, he gets turned into one of the gas mask zombies in Empty Child Doctor Dances. That's a very kind of gory scene in Doctor Who world. This is kind of up there with that, probably even more so, because yeah, Mr. Hauptmann literally turns into an Ood. Ood Sigma, I believe it is, isn't it? Who is kind of Mr. Hauptmann's assistant, right-hand Ood, if you might say, has been giving Mr. Hauptmann this supposed hair tonic because, he's losing his hair, giving him this hair tonic. Turns out it's not a hair tonic, it's actually kind of a poison to turn him into an Ood, getting revenge on him and turning him into an Ood, which is absolutely ridiculous, but, hey, he gets what he deserves. So that is it for my notes on Planet of the Ood. Not a massive amount of notes to make here. I think it's a perfectly fine episode. It's not absolutely amazing, but I think it is a more than good episode. A rating out of 10, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I think it is enjoyable to watch. The emotions throughout this episode, I think, do it more than anything else. And then you also have the big thing at the end. This kind of starts the Dr. Donna thing. The Ood are coming in on the Doctor and Donna. They're coming towards them with their translator balls that zap them, and the Doctor and Donna do their Dr. Donna friend thing. That's kind of when the Dr. Donna thing starts, and the whole circle must be broken thing. And at the end, when Ood Sigma's like, it's either Ood Sigma or it's one of the natural Ood, I think it's Ood Sigma, says, your song is ending soon. This is kind of geeing up the end of the 10th Doctor. So yeah, it's a I mean, it's a big moment in the show's history, even though it is mostly just kind of a mid-season sort of filler story. It does have a lot going for it here, so an 8 out of 10 for Planet of the Ood. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, please go ahead, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.